Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to try to create a new mini album in a Heidi Swap storyline chapters, like the regular sized album. And it's going to be all about home projects that I am doing this year. So I thought that it would be kind of fun, kind of like a little traveler's notebook, except a little bit bigger, which I love having that extra room. So I'm excited. I've been really in a storyline chapters mood lately, so I'm excited to start this one. So basically, I'm kind of just rolling with it. I don't have a huge idea of like a big plan for this. I'm not going to say that it is going to be like a junk journal. It is very clean and all of that, like my regular scrapbook pages, but I am not going to be doing like standard like layouts. I just want to kind of throw everything in it in a nice, like way where everything looks tidy, but I don't want to have like actual layouts. I just want to be able to kind of like organically throw everything in there and just like have kind of the progress of our house projects throughout this year. So hopefully that makes sense because I'm just kind of, making things up as I go. But basically what I've started out with, I grabbed a few pieces of paper from the Joann's paper pad. So y'all are going to be seeing those a lot. I'm pretty sure all of these are from that really big basics paper pad that I got from Joann a couple weeks ago maybe. So I just grabbed some papers that I thought would have kind of a color scheme that would go well with my photos. So I thought that I would start off the album by just jumping right into it and doing kind of a title page for my living room upgrade. So my plan is to kind of have a few pages for each room that we are like redoing or kind of upgrading, adding stuff to, all of that. So the first one will be the living room. So I decided to go with this polka dot pattern paper, and then I used the Apollo Alpha stamp from Feed Your Craft, my favorite stamp set at the moment. I've used it like over and over in just about every project that I've worked on, but I love it. So, I mean, no one can pry this stamp set away from me. I love it. So, I spelt out living room upgrade. I once again just used the outline portion of the stamp and just stamped it right onto some kind of yellowy paper that I thought would coordinate well and kind of give it a nice pop. And I have just added that onto the page. So the three pictures in the middle are photos that I found on Instagram that I try to save and kind of use as inspiration for what I wanted my living room to look like. And at the very beginning of the video, I quickly showed you I have a mood board that I worked on a few weeks ago to kind of give me inspiration as well for my living room. So I'm kind of taking that mood board and taking the inspo for the living room and trying to create a book about it, essentially. So I'm kind of keeping this one easy and kind of as clean as I possibly can. I've added these three photos here into the middle, and then I'm just adding a couple little stamps, and I'm going to add the date right onto the top of that photo, which I think is nice. So I'm just putting February 2022. And then of course we'll add a few little stars and stuff like that just to make it look a little more exciting. So basically another thing that I want to do throughout and that I've tried to do in this album is, I hope that y'all can't hear Penny because she's being a little wild right now, but we're going to try to work through that. But I'm trying to save bits and pieces, like real life ephemera, as we are working on these projects. So as you can see, I have a couple of like paint chip kind of things from the store. These are a couple pieces of wallpaper that we put up, just some of the extra pieces from that. And then I'll kind of mix real pictures that I've taken of our living room along with the inspiration photos. So now I'm just going to kind of just kind of freely stick stuff down and see what we can come up with. So this is some pill and stick wallpaper that I got from Wayfair, and I really like it. It's really bold. It has a lot of the colors that I'm trying to incorporate into the living room, and it's peel and stick, so it was like sticking a big sticker down as some pattern paper on that side of the page. So I thought that that was fun. Here I have 3 pictures of our living room. So my other passion besides scrapbooking is definitely interior design and kind of like decorating our house. I love doing that. It's always been a thing that I've really like loved, and I love getting like antique pieces of furniture and upcycling them. I love I love antiquing and thrifting and kind of creating something fun and new out of older pieces, and I love mid-century kind of retro design anyways. So for a long time though, my style aesthetic was kind of like white walls, crisp white walls, and then having lots of color from the additional pieces in the room. So like a bright colored couch or, bright pops of wall art and stuff. But I really have been inspired this year to go bolder. I love going bold with home decor, and I don't have any problems like kind of taking risks. So I really wanted to try that this year. So we have started by using this color swatch here that's on this side called, I think it's called Ocean Slumber. And we have painted kind of an accent area of our living room. So kind of these 2 smaller walls, we painted those with this bright color. And it's kind of dark, but it makes it so cozy. And a lot of the rest of the space is still white. So it's still really bright, but it just has livened up the space so much. And then we had an old record cabinet that was kind of on the other side of the room. So I painted that the same color to bring in that color to the other side. So as far as the spread goes, you'll see that I tried to take a risk there and use the Brilliance Moonlight White ink to stamp, I think, Life Right Now onto that paint chip. And I knew that it probably would not work out, and I was correct. The paint chip was kind of too slick of a material, and I could tell that it wasn't going to dry. It didn't stamp well, so I ended up just cutting off the top where the stamp was. So now I just have a little square of the paint chip in the lower corner, but I still like it. I'm still going to roll with it and just make it work. So then on the opposite side, I found some paper in that Basics paper pad that I thought really kind of was pretty close to the color story that we're going for in the living room. So I just completely covered this page with that piece of paper. I love the Basics paper pad because the paper's super thin, which normally might be kind of a problem. It's not like thick, hardy paper like a lot of pattern papers are. But I have to say that if you are adding that paper into like something like the Storyline Chapters album and you don't want the album to get too chunky to work out of, it's awesome to have like really thin paper. It's almost as thin as like your standard just printer paper, white printer paper. So it is really nice to cover this album because it definitely won't add that much bulk. So then I kind of layered a picture of Will and Penny on our new couch. So we got a new little yellow couch also from Wayfair and put that together this week. So I snapped a quick picture of them, and then I have tried again on that Life Right Now stamp, and it worked out much better on this side of the page in the black. So I really love the way that looks. Adding on a few little stars to give it a pop, adding a few over to this other side, and then we're just going to see what else we can do to kind of bring this page to life. So I think that this will be a really fun album, kind of like an inspiration album, just filled with color and patterns and ideas for different rooms in the house. So I'm not really sure where all this will go, but we have just already started on the living room. But I might make pages for the bedroom before we even start on it and see if they can come to like fruition or what ends up happening. But yeah, that's a big goal of mine throughout this year, is to work on some of these home projects that I've been putting off, and I feel like this is the perfect year to do it. So I'm really excited to get to work. And when you're a scrapbooker, of course, everything that you do, you want to scrap it. So it's exciting to kind of put your goals into an album, I think. And then I'll have this fun little mini album of progress for the house, but also just of like fun inspiration photos, which I really love. So I added another photo kind of to the top of that second page, and that's actually just our cat, Shanghai. He's kind of in the box, just like a typical cat. Whenever we were pulling the couch out of the box that it came in, he was just, in there rummaging around trying to make it into his new little home. So that was really cute. So I had to snap a picture of that. So I decided to throw that to the top. And then I had already printed off one other inspiration photo. So I thought, what the heck, we'll add that over here to this side as well. So I kind of just layered it on top of that paint swatch just to give it a little, a little bit of something there at the bottom. So I just did a dash border around this other paint chip. So this paint chip, actually, I didn't use any of those paints, but I thought that it looked really nice on that paper. And I did buy the last paint color, the kind of darker one. It's called Fish Story, which is interesting. But I think we're going to use that paint color in our bedroom. So I just went ahead and used the paint swatch here. I can always grab another one or do something else when we start the bedroom portion of the album. So now I wanted to add another little title. So I decided to go with New Couch. So these are the outline and inside portions of the Apollo stamp set from Feed Your Craft. So I'm just going to stamp that out, and I will be using some of the Catherine Pooler inks in kind of a bright orange to fill in the inside. So there was a little bit of orange, I think maybe in the wallpaper from the first page that we did on the left side. So I thought that I would try to bring that in onto the right side. It's pretty bright, but I like the way that it looks. I think it's cute. So maybe orange. I mean, I could have chosen a different color, but I just kind of went with the orange, and I think it's fine. I think it works. So we're just going to go ahead and finish stamping this, cut those out, and add those right on top of the paint swatches. So I'm wondering if you guys have ever documented anything like this, or if you would be interested in documenting something like this. I know I've seen people do similar things with maybe health and wellness type albums. Maybe if you're trying to eat better or work on things like that. I always those are things I never want to document. I don't know. To me, they're not fun. Like in my world, I know some people do think that those things are fun, and I certainly wish that I did, but I really don't. But I think that by doing an album of it, it kind of gets your mojo going with it and kind of gets you more inspired. So who knows, maybe I'll do something like that if I do ever get serious about my wellness journey, which I would like to do. But I feel like this is kind of the same thing. So this is something that I really wanted to work on this year. And for me, by scrapbooking it, it kind of inspires me to work even harder to get everything done, So I really love that. So now I knew I wanted to add a little bit of journaling, and I thought that left side where you just see the wallpaper and there's kind of a decent amount of space right there, that I would add a 3x4 card and just add some journaling onto it about kind of our plans and what we're doing here with the living room. So I grabbed one of these. Here's the story cards. I'm pretty sure those are from Ellie's Studio, and I just have a big pack of them. And then I had grabbed a few stamps to try to use beforehand. So this one is just a smaller stamp set from Citrus Twist. So I added around here to the top, and then I'm just adding in my journaling, and I will put the date, which we did basically everything on the 15th and the 16th. So we really knocked it out, which I was really excited about because I knew that I wanted to get the painting done this week. So me and my mom went and bought the paint and got all that stuff prepared on Sunday, the 13th. And I thought, oh, Valentine's Day, that's what I want for Valentine's Day, is for us to paint the house. Well, then it didn't end up happening. I was working on some videos and, doing a bunch of stuff like that, and it just didn't end up happening. So I was really excited when the next day we were able to knock it out. Will basically did the majority of the painting, and I worked on finishing up the little record cabinet over there, and also painted our little mantle. So we do have a mantle that actually I bought years ago from an antique store, and it's just kind of like the, just the outward portion of the mantle place, and we don't have a fireplace, so we kind of have a faux fireplace. It's really fun because it was a great place for us to put our TV above, and it's really fun for holidays and just having like a little place to decorate the mantle. So we decided to paint that the same color as the walls. So then I decided to add a little Avery index tab over here to the side, and I wasn't sure. At first I pulled out the little pieces of paper that the tabs come with that you can stamp on or write on. But then I thought that I would try my Dymo label maker, and sure enough, the labels fit in there absolutely perfectly. So I already had this yellow colored label paper stuff in there, sticker paper. So I went with that, even though it's not the most perfect color, but it works for me. But anyway, I wrote out living. And so I thought that it would be fun as we do like the bedroom, the bathroom, whatever rooms that we work on. I will add a little label to kind of have different sections of the album. So now we're kind of taking a break from the pages inside. I do end up adding a little bit more, but I wanted to cover the front. So one thing that I love to do for these Storyline Chapters albums is covering the front of them. So I never leave them the way that they originally come. So I love covering them. So I decided to use a couple of these coordinating papers, and I only had one sheet of the white polka dot left or on my desk. So what I ended up doing was I used this kind of checkerboard teal paper, and I filled up half of the front cover with that, and then I'm going to use the polka dot for the second half and the polka dot for the entire back page. So I really just add adhesive straight onto the album cover, and then I just cover it right up with the paper. I typically put washi down the spine just to kind of hold it together, because I don't like to put paper on the spine, just because I don't want it to be hard to open and close later. So I usually keep the spine naked and then just add a little washi over the top. So I really love the way that that looks. This washi is very not sticky, so I just add a little bit of adhesive to hold it on there, and it's kind of a marble washi, which is really pretty. It has a pop of gold, and I just thought it was kind of nice for the home decor kind of vibe. So I think that that's cute. And then we are going to go ahead and go with the stamping. I'll be using that Apollo stamp set throughout this album. So I went ahead and stamped out home projects, and that will go onto the front cover as like the main title page or cover of the album. So it's just been so much fun working out of these Storyline Chapters albums. I will say that before I started this, I once again took probably a good 5 pages out, I would say. And that's like out of both sides. So it's like one big piece, that's folded in the middle and then stitched. So I took about 5 pieces out, and then I just used washi tape to kind of reinforce the middle of the album and adhere those 2 middle pieces together so that they're like one piece. You'll see that as we get going here and you continue to see the album. But so you can't even tell that anything has changed. But I just feel like it gives me a little less chunk, which I love a chunky album. But sometimes they get so big that they're honestly really hard to work out of and hard to flip through at the end. And one thing I just can't stand is when my album is too big to even look through. I want to like comfortably be able to like flip through my album, So I just took a few sheets out, and I just feel like it's such a better size for me. So I did do that beforehand. And then I'm sure that I will cover that the page like by the cover page that says living room progress or process or whatever. I will probably cover that, because all of the pages like the front and back cover are a little bit of like a creamier color, which I don't love, but I just did not cover that at this time. So then what I just did was, it was really hard to see in this video, but I don't know if you guys will know what I'm talking about, but on Amazon, and I'm sure other places, you can buy these big rolls of, They're basically like a window cling, but it's a big sheet of it. It's a huge roll, and you can measure out your window and then cut your window cling to the size of your window, and then you add it on there with like a little bit of water and sort of like how you would do wallpaper or something, and it sticks to it like for good. I mean, you can pull it off if you want, just like peel and stick wallpaper, but it's not going to come off. And then you can have basically like almost like a frosted look to your window so that you still get the light from outside, but it does not, you can't see through it. So we have this little window in our kitchen that I wanted to use some of the window clings for, because it is really like, I didn't want you to be able to see in that window. So I found this really cute type of window. I don't know what they're called. I wish I did. It's on Amazon. I'm sure that just by like searching you could find it. But these like fun window cling things for your window, right? And I found this really cute pattern that was like a retro kind of 50s vibe. It has like these little almost like little starburst on it. So I used that for the kitchen, and then I've seen it a ton online, this really cute like holographic kind of like iridescent. It shines with the sun. It puts rainbows into your room. So I got a big roll of that, and I want to put that on our front door so that you can't see directly into the house, because right now we have like a shade that comes down. So I think that this would be even better, so you can't directly see into the room, but it would make rainbows throughout the living space. So I think that would be super cool. So what I did was I took a little piece off the bottom of the roll, and I just cut out with my star punch. I cut out little stars, and I just stapled them right down. So unfortunately in the video you couldn't tell that they kind of change colors with the sun, but trust me, they do, and it's so beautiful. Then what I did was I just found a few other little stickers, I think from an older crepe paper collection. I added a rainbow to the front, and I added our happy place that looks like a little keychain to that left side. I also added a few other little stickers from Pink Fresh that I just found in my stash, and then I just added on a few other little gold stars. So at this point, I wanted just a couple other little things to finish off this page. So I'm cutting out some little arrows that I'm going to put around the couch for the title of new couch. So I think that that will be cute. And I was blabbing on, but I did add 2 little pillows to the right side, the top left corner of the right side of this page. And those are actually 2 pillows that I bought from Shop Bando. They are so cute. One says stay groovy, which is definitely a vibe I think that we have going on in our house, kind of that retro vibe. And I love those pillows. So I just printed off the photos straight from their website and then just cut them right out and added them to the top. So I thought that that was cute because we did buy those pillows and they're now in our living room. So then one of the very last things that I'm going to do, I wanted something to go in this blank space. So we have the big stamp that says life right now. So then I used a little roller stamp and just stamped right now a bunch of times down that side. And that is it, guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this project and this video. If you did, please give me a like. Please also consider subscribing. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.